Alright, so this the game y'all play, right? Each person is responsible for their own personal space, right? Okay, so with me, you place motherfuckers around me and you try to make them higher than me and make it seem like everything is them when everything is me. So let me explain something to y'all idiots and to this copycat, meaning the kid, the mother of the kid in this house. Between me and, well, my handler, there was space in between us. We spent time away from each other. So what happened to her gradually over time, and she did it to herself. Now what you're doing with him, because you're using him as a blocker, and for whatever reason you're using him, copycat, whatever, you're destroying him, inside out, literally. You are. You're doing this to him. He's not doing this to himself. So in other words, he's in the safest place, but the most harmful place at the same time. Because you're not allowing him to have free will, and because you're blocking my free will, well, the universe, the real true living universe, and the ethers will get rid of him. That's what you're not understanding. Or separate us, or make it to where we're not around one another. So now here's the catch and the moral of the story. Because my element is equal, you might want to stop having him in my energy and allow him to be himself in his own energy around me. Because this is the end of the cycle. This was a cycle that y'all had going on when I wasn't aware. Now I'm aware. This is the cycle that comes to an end. Is y'all placing people around me and building them up off of me. That cycle comes to a close. It ends, you fucking idiot. There's nothing you can do about it. So now what you can do is save yourself and save this child and stop subjecting him to a fucked up situation, thinking it's gonna save your ass. It's only putting you in more harm's way. So now with that being said, well, you're blocking universal free will. So what happens is the universe will balance that out. That's what that means. So in other words, if it's two people in this place, and we're supposed to have individual space, but there's no individual space, one of these people will be erased, like the last person was. Because the last person was taking too much of my energy. So now you have somebody else taking too much of my energy, and they're not built for it, and then he ain't doing shit with it, but sitting here in it. He's not expressing it the way he should be, or anyone else, or the way she was. So in other words, you're an expression, right? Everybody's an expression, right? So here you have somebody who's an expression who's not being allowed to express themselves with the expressor, the nigga that created expressions. So I'm the expressor and you're expressions. See how that shit works? So he's sitting here with the expressor, and you're blocking the expressor from expressing shit, and then you have an expression who can't express himself. You got him expressing what you want him to express, which is death. Literally, death. 913 is death. Literally. That's not life. That's death. So in other words, you're using him to destroy humanity. And you're just making it look good, making people feel good for doing it, pretty much, because you can't be with me. Not that you can't be, but because you compete with yourself and all itself, which means you compete with me, and that was the worst thing you can do. And that means everybody else you encounter, male and female alike, even your kids, you compete with them too. That's where y'all fuck up at. And that's where you need to start doing the inner work and stop competing, start completing yourself. Then once you complete yourself inwardly, you can complete yourself outwardly, and you won't compete with yourself. And then why are you competing with yourself and y'all broke? So that's no competition. You compete with other broke ass yous. And I ain't talking about money. I'm talking about your hearts. Get your shit together. Because the one that fashioned your heart is the one that's mashing your heart. And you're doing it to yourself because you know I fashioned your heart. And I did that shit for everybody else. So now with that being said, let's tell the truth. You fuck God, you slept with God. You never get over me because, look, you're always with me and I'm always with you. And it's fucking your head up. And for that, you're trying to fuck my head up and make me feel some kind of way. And you're trying to replace me, though I'm God. I'm not replaceable, but you are. All y'all are. See my point? So now, stop doing this to yourself, because now you're sacrificing something that you have no right to sacrifice, including yourself.